What is up, guys? It is Jed Wrestling here, back again with another video. I'm a little late to the party with this one, but WrestleMania 41, Night 1, was absolutely insane. We're going to talk about everything that happened right now. Opening up the show, as I predicted, with Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. This match was good, in my opinion, man. I really thought it was good. The haters are going to hate. I think this was a really good, not necessarily great, but really good match between Jey Uso and Gunther to open up this night of action. Jay did hit quite a few Uso splashes and super kicks, but he was experimenting with some new moves. You got to give that to him. He had a Hurricane Rana on Gunther, a power bomb, a sleeper hold, which he used in the final moments of the match to tap out Gunther and win the World Heavyweight title. Absolutely awesome moment. Do I think Gunther should have tapped out? Not really. I don't really see what was wrong with Jey Uso pinning Gunther, or at the very least, just making Gunther tap out. Because the whole submission finish, especially tapping out so quickly, like he tapped out within like 8 seconds. So seeing Gunther just tap out so quickly to his own move, that was kind of unrealistic to me. But I'm so happy Jey Uso won. We did see Big Jimmy Uso came out. He's back from the hospital after what Gunther did to him and now he is congratulating Jey Uso. This was such a powerful moment, dude. I love the Usos, as you know, and just seeing throughout this segment, like it's not just Jimmy Uso who's proud of Jey Uso making it this far. It is Jonathan Fatu who's proud of Joshua Fatu, and you can just tell by this segment. Awesome, awesome stuff. People are hating on Jey Uso, but I thought this match was good. I thought the moment was amazing. It was a fantastic way to begin WrestleMania. Jey Uso is your new World Heavyweight Champion. Let's go. Naomi versus Jade Cargill was up next, and I thought the build to this match massively over-delivered. I feel like not too many people were excited about it until they really like played out the build a little bit more. And this match was definitely good as well. A lot of cool moves, such as a face buster on like X Factor type thing on the outside of the ring from Naomi. That looked nasty. And a lot of other really cool moves in this match until we saw Jade Cargill put Naomi away with her jaded finishing move. Definitely big things in the future for Jade Cargill. I see possibly a women's title reign before the year's out because I could see her like possibly dethroning Tiffany Stratton, becoming the women's champion. Because other than Charlotte Flair, and they didn't crown Charlotte Flair last night. Other than Charlotte Flair, I can't really. Because I can definitely see Jade Cargill being the stature of someone like a Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair that can definitely carry the women's championship. Really good match here between Naomi and Jade Cargill. Next, we had the War Raiders defending their World Tag Team Championships up against the New Day. The New Day's attires were pretty cool in this match, and I feel like if Mattel is going to give us updated New Day figures, possibly in their heel look, this is definitely the gear that they should go for. Definitely look to WrestleMania 41 for some updated New Day figures. We also need some new War Raiders figures as well. The other ones that they did were like the Viking Raiders, and they're really old. But back to this match. It was pretty good. We saw Xavier and Kofi, of course, playing off the neck injuries that Eric and Ivar have suffered in the past. They've both suffered broken necks that almost ended both of their careers. So I feel like that was a really nice touch in this match. And in the end, we did see the New Day sort of cheat. They hit the midnight hour. I'm pretty sure that finisher has a new name. I'm not quite sure what it is, but they hit what would be the midnight hour on Ivar to pick up the win, and Kofi how he cheated was he held Ivar's leg so he couldn't put it like on the ropes or anything, or he couldn't kick out. So the New Day win your World Tag Team Championships. Definitely overdue. I feel like this is something that they could have done at the height of the New Day's popularity, but better late than never. I'm happy to have the New Day as Tag Team Champions. And yes, where do the War Raiders go from here? I'm not sure, but I'm excited to see what the New Day do with the titles, no doubt. 2 versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. This might have been my favorite match up to that point. I think this match was really, really fun. We saw some really cool moves, including Jacob Fatu went for a moonsault, and LA Knight caught him with a BFT in midair. I don't think we've ever seen like a BFT counter. Like we've seen like RKOs and stuff like that. But as for like a midair BFT counter. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like that. I don't know if they've really explored that, but it's definitely something they could do more. They did it with Jacob Fatu here. Mid-air BFT. It was super smooth. Hats off to both LA Knight and Jacob Fatu for being able to pull that off. But nonetheless, everything else about this match was really, really fun. Up until the end, we saw Jacob Fatu hit two moonsaults on LA Knight to pick up the win. Jacob Fatu is your new United States champion, as I predicted. He has his first singles championship in the company. Definitely deserves it. Much like with the War Raiders, I don't know what LA Knight's going to do from here. Maybe he could go for the undisputed title, no matter who wins tonight, either John Cena or Cody Rhodes. Stay tuned for the review tomorrow. I will be talking about that, no matter what happens, obviously. But maybe he could go for that. As for Jacob Fatu, he is your new United States champion, and I'm definitely excited to see what he does. So it was going to be Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, but apparently Rey Mysterio suffered some sort of injury on SmackDown, so he wasn't able to compete, which is really unfortunate. I was intrigued to see what would happen within his match with El Grande Americano. Instead, he would be replaced by Rey Fenix, an equally sensational luchador. So Rey Mysterio was out. Rey Fenix was in. Pretty fun match here. Rey Fenix is awesome. And so is Chad Gable as well. Let's be real. It is Chad Gable under that mask, and I especially liked. Hold on a second. I especially liked how they brought up the back tattoo back here because I'm like Chad Gable has a back tattoo, right? I wonder if they're gonna bring that up in the storyline, and they did. Michael Cole made a passing remark about it, but we did see El Grande Americano load up his mask with a what I guess is a steel plate, headbutted Ray Phoenix twice to pick up the win. So El Grande Americano wins his WrestleMania debut in inverted commas, if you know what I'm saying. And Ray Phoenix takes his first loss in his debut of WrestleMania. That's kind of whack to me. I know they couldn't have predicted Rey Mysterio would have gotten injured, but still kind of unfortunate to see Ray Phoenix lose. I feel like this could have been easy like Dragon Lee or something, because Ray Phoenix did not need to lose his WrestleMania debut. I feel like he could have been left off this year and then pick up a big win this year because it was looking like he was going to be left off. Then they had to throw him in here. Kind of unfortunate that he lost, but still cool to see El Grande Americano, this whole storyline continuing. I am a fan of it. Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. It was indeed Tiffy time at WrestleMania. She had a really fun entrance. It was like a Barbie themed entrance because, of course, Tiffany Stratton calls herself the Buff Barbie. So she had like a Barbie style of entrance. Really cool idea by Tiffany Stratton or Triple H or whoever came up with this entrance. I thought it was well executed. Really cool. As for the match itself, it was kind of sloppy in certain moves, but it still wasn't bad. There was a lot of focus on the knee of Charlotte Flair because, of course, in December of 2023, her match against Asuka, Charlotte Flair had a devastating knee injury where she tore her ACL, MCL, and meniscus and had to take over a year off from WWE, missed WrestleMania 40 and all that. So there was a lot of focus here. Tiffany kept attacking it to the point where she was hardly able to lock in the figure eight leg lock. And towards the end, Tiffany Stratton would hit the prettiest moonsault ever to pick up the win. Very happy that Tiffany Stratton won this. They had me thinking at certain points in the match that Charlotte Flair might pick up the win, but it wasn't enough. Tiffany Stratton picked up the win. Very, very awesome. She is still your women's champion. To the main event. First and foremost, this match absolutely stole the night. No questions asked. This was just pure storytelling at its finest, and I feel like it has a solid case for stealing the weekend as well, depending on what happens tonight. But Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, like I said, pure storytelling, cinema at its peak right here in the main event of WrestleMania. Triple threat. Three guys who have a bunch of history together. This was really awesome. First, all these gears were really good. CM Punk with the yellow, Seth Rollins with the white, and then the faint gold. Roman Reigns with the white, which he hasn't really experimented with in his New Age Tribal Chief run. He's been experimenting with some more different colors recently, which is really cool. I think they could do like a three pack or possibly a four pack with Paul Heyman, like throw Paul Heyman in there, and then make this like a WrestleMania Night 1 main event four pack. Because all these attires, dude, we need like all of these attires in figure form. They were absolutely awesome. But this whole time, we thought Paul Heyman's allegiance lied with CM Punk because he's his best friend in the entire world, he kept saying, and this whole favor thing was based upon like Paul, you need to accompany me at WrestleMania. And Paul Heyman said no to his tribal chief Roman Reigns because he couldn't just let CM Punk down like that because he had given him his word no matter what the favor was, he would accept it, he would follow through with it. When all participants were down in the ring, both Roman Reigns and CM Punk were lying near the ropes, near Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman picks up a chair. He looks to throw it in the ring, and we're all wondering like who's he gonna throw it to? I'm like, yeah, he's definitely gonna throw it to Punk, and that's what he did. Threw it to CM Punk, and then Punk was about to unload on Reigns, but Paul Heyman comes in the ring, low blows CM Punk. So Paul Heyman turned on Punk. Then he handed his tribal chief the chair, and we all thought that that was going to be the big swerve of the night. We were mistaken, but then it came to Roman Reigns smashing CM Punk with the steel chair repeatedly. Then Seth Rollins was standing in a very vulnerable position, similar to how Roman Reigns was standing when the Shield originally disbanded. Roman Reigns looking to get his revenge, but Paul Heyman low blows his tribal chief from behind, dude. Absolutely insane. Paul Heyman turned on his two best friends in the same night, and he aligned himself with Seth Rollins, dude. He hands Seth the chair. Seth hits Roman in the back, just like 2014, like I said, and he hits the stomp and picks up the win. Seth Rollins wins the triple threat match. I can't believe it, dude. I literally said in my predictions, and I need to just stop throwing these bold things out there in my predictions because it always comes back to bite me. But I said it doesn't make any sense. And personally, I take back what I said. Actually, I still think that it doesn't really make all that much sense. I think that they need to explore this a little bit more because, dude, what has Seth Rollins done for Paul Heyman? I mean, like, he didn't curb stomp him, but like, what else has Seth Rollins done for Paul Heyman that makes him want to turn on his friend that he's known for like 20 years or something in CM Punk and his tribal chief in Roman Reigns. Like I feel like they need to explain this just a tad bit more, but it was a great swerve to close out WrestleMania. Absolutely insane. And Seth Rollins winning was definitely awesome to see. Seth Rollins is like one of my goats. I probably like him more than Roman Reigns, definitely more than CM Punk. So yeah, it was great to see Seth Rollins pick up the win. Hopefully they follow this up with a possible world title match against Jey Uso. Maybe Seth Rollins could get it back. I don't know, but his alliance with Paul Heyman is about to be fire. Honestly, looking back and really diving into everything that happened on this show, the opener was good, the main event was awesome, but I feel like everything in between was a bit mid. That's just my opinion. It started with a bang, ended with a bang, like I said, but I feel like everything in the middle just I don't know. I feel like if you're watching this show, the opener and the main event are what like I would talk about if you know what I'm saying. Because I feel like there wasn't all that much crazy stuff throughout like the middle portion of this show. But the opener and the main event definitely give it a solid ranking. So I'm going to rank it a 7.5 out of 10. I was gonna go 7. The thing about like the main event and everything, I gotta add an extra zero point 0.5 on there. So 7.5 or 7.5 for WrestleMania 41, Night 1. Be sure to tune into my review tomorrow, like I said, for WrestleMania Sunday. It's going to be great. I'm very excited to watch it. But yes, Jet Wrestling out.